Welcome to On the Spot, the show where we put Toowoomba businesses on the spot. Your host for today is Barry Knights. So with today's business, Barry, it's over to you.
Good morning, Australia. This is Barry on Power TV Australia, coming to you with the On the Spot show. Today I have a guest with me who is pretty knowledgeable about what goes on around Toowoomba. This is Lindsay Booth. Lindsay, where are you from?
Originally I came from the Blue Mountains down in New South Wales, and then we lived out at Chinchilla in the Western Downs, and moved to Toowoomba in the mid-1980s. So we've been here a little while.
And you run a business here in Toowoomba?
Toowoomba Sightseeing it is.
Toowoomba Sightseeing. Okay, and what does Toowoomba Sightseeing do?
I devised it so it would give the opportunity for the tourist to get an overview of the city.
Okay.
So then I'll show them all the attractions and where they are, and then they can choose to go back to the ones that they like to. Our morning tour, I do the western side of the city, which takes 2 hours, and in the afternoon I do the eastern side.
Okay.
And drive past all the big points of interest. In the afternoons we have a little bit more time, so we hop off at some of the parks and gardens and picnic point, and then people can get an idea where everything is, get their bearings about the city, and then go back to things that they would like to visit.
Okay, we'll talk more about that shortly. Now you said they get off. How are you taking these people around?
With the little minibus that I have, it's a 23-seater,
okay.
And we've dressed it up like a replica tram, so it stands out from the rest. And I've designed it with low seats so people can get a 360-degree view and
okay.
talk to others in their group. We do get a lot of people who come up from Brisbane. You know, they'll have a group of 10 or 12 people, so they can all interact and communicate. They're not locked away from each other.
Right.
So it works very well.
Yeah. And tell me, how did you start this business?
I just seen that there was a niche market. It's about 7 months we've been going now, and I just thought a big place like Toowoomba needs a designated sightseeing bus. With lots of bus groups here, but they mainly concentrate on taking people away for tours, and nobody really did a sightseeing tour showing all the attractions. And I talk about all the history as well, and
right.
all the
yes.
people, all the founding fathers, and even those guys that are here today who do so much for the city. I think that that's important, because you can go to any town and you can see an old building, but unless you know all the history of it and the people who lived in it, just brings it all alive, and the tourists really love it.
Yeah. And have you always been into driving buses, or is this a new departure for you?
Oh, that's a bit of a new departure, but I've always been into history.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So being able to pass it on to visitors, and even the locals love it.
Yeah.
To be able to pass that on is a really good experience.
Yeah. Oh, terrific.
Yeah.
Okay. And you said you've been going for about 7 months?
7 months, yeah. Yep. The first month was a bit of a drag, like all first months are, and it's getting better and better every month. Except for last month, there was a bit of a glitch with all the rain that
yes.
kept a lot of the tourists away. But now it's picked up and going again.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Now we're going to take a break now. When we come back after the break, I'm going to get you to tell me or tell us a little bit about some of the things that you do, some of the places that you take people to, and what's popular, and so on. This is Barry on the Spot. I'm with Lindsay Booth from Toowoomba Sightseeing today. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
On the Spot, the show where we put Toowoomba businesses on the spot.
Hi, this is Mick Jagger on
Classic Vinyl.
This is Debbie Harrow from Blondie.
This is Jimmy Barnes here.
Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
This is Reverend Willie G from ZZ Top.
The best tracks from the greatest albums of our generation.
That's right.
From your breakfast and coffee to your drive home.
We've got the classic hits that make your workday.
Then you got a job to do.
Go by a lot faster.
Hey, if we haven't said it lately, thanks for listening. The home of classic rock.
Don't touch the dial.
PowerFMRadio.com.au.
Whether you're a professional musician, a weekend warrior, or just starting out, you need to talk to the experts at Royce Music. With over 35 years' experience, Royce, Toowoomba's oldest music store, specialise in guitars, drums, and sound equipment, and can even repair and maintain your equipment. Call them today on 46-327-377, drop into their showroom at 17 Bowen Street, or find them on Facebook. Royce Music, selling Toowoomba's finest musical instruments. Break out the popcorn, sweets and drinks. Sunday night at the movies. Latest released movies here on our movie channel on Power TV Australia, brought to you in conjunction with Lima Films.
Go grab my stuff, and I'll take you home.
I want to go on my own with a little bit of self-respect and a little bit of dignity.
Sunday night at the movie. Every Sunday night, 7 p.m. on the movie channel on Power TV Australia. Welcome back to On the Spot. I am with Lindsay Booth today from Toowoomba Sightseeing. Lindsay, you were talking about taking people around in your bus and showing them things. What are your favourite places to go to?
I like to show people the geography for a start. I noticed that when people come in from out the west and they have that gentle drive up into Toowoomba, they don't realise that we're on a 500 metre precipice.
Yes.
And it's a real shock for them to drop them off at Picnic Point and let them have a look over the edge. They just never expected that. So that's a real wow factor for the visitors.
Right.
But I get a bit of an idea when people jump on from where they are and what they might be interested in. I find that the golden oldies from the southern states love not only the gardens and the history,
right,
and the geography, but when you get people from overseas, our history is so young that it doesn't mean a lot to them.
Yes.
But they're very interested in our big gardens and the big yards that people have, and especially the big homes of the people who live along the escarpment edge. So I always feature those huge big homes of Millionaires Mile and the old money areas and Prince Henry Drive and things like that, so they can get a bit of geography and a bit of the gardens and the big exceptional homes. That's something that really stands out for the overseas visitor, is our lifestyle.
Yeah, right. And what's your favourite spot?
I love the eastern side because I love all the big Georgian homes that are up around the Toowoomba Anglican College and I love the monuments that we have in the city. I think we need more monuments.
All right.
But I love those, and we do have a lot of museums and things on show, as well as our parks and gardens, and so I like to feature all those. So if people have got time, they can come back and spend half a day at the Cobb & Co Museum or the Down Steam Museum. You know, they're things that they can spend a lot of time at, or the Main Roads Heritage Museum. So they can easily spend half a day at any of those places. Yeah,
you've got overseas visitors coming as well as people from interstate.
Yes, it's really interesting. At different times of the year, you can see a different influx of tourists.
Oh, okay.
And my first day on the job, I only got one person, and that was a Filipino lady who lives and works in Japan, and she's a headhunter for corporate businesses.
Right.
And she just had a spare couple of hours in her itinerary, and she jumped on and had a look. And that's the real thrill for me, showing people all the little things in the back streets that aren't on the brochures. That's the real thrill.
We've got some beautiful buildings and things down on Russell Street and places like that. Are people interested in that kind of thing?
They are, yes. And even our old industrial buildings, like our old Silverstream Brewery, or you know, where our old foundry was, and what's left of it nowadays.
Yeah.
People love all that old stuff.
Yeah.
And but I think the thrill for the overseas people is our lifestyle, and they like to see everything that's associated with our lifestyle, like our big Toowoomba showgrounds. You know, they're just enthralled that that's on 245 acres. Yes. And all the big buildings we have, and all the equestrian events that are held there. That's a part of our Australian lifestyle that overseas visitors like to have a look at. Yeah. And there's plenty of places that you can take them, I guess, for meals that are interesting in yeah. I love doing the foodies tours, and locally there are a lot of local groups will come, like the Probus people and the Friends of the Library and all those people, and I do parties for professional groups. We've done platters in the Japanese gardens for a professional group. We've been up to Highfields to the Danish restaurant, and I've done a progressive foodies tour where we've had entrees at the office. Then we went on and had our main meal at Skewers, and then we went and had dessert at Nitrogenie. And, you know, it's a little bit of history mixed with a little bit of food and wine, and people love it. Reminds me of the days when we used to do progressive dinners. Yes. And also too, one of the main reasons I do that is it's passing some of the tourism dollar around the city as well. Yes. Yeah. Oh, terrific. Giving a little bit to everybody. Yes. Yes, and everybody needs a little bit. Yeah. And I think one of my biggest hurdles is going to be my major market at the moment is the southern tourists who are travelling up to get away from the winter. Yes. And being able to connect to them, because some of them are golden oldies who, you know, have limited media coverage while they're away on the road. Right. So that's probably one of my biggest hurdles at the moment. Okay, well, hopefully some of them will be watching this, and we'll connect with you here. Yeah. All right, we're going to take another break now. When we come back after the break, we'll get some details from you, Lindsay, about how people can connect with you and some of your contact details, and we'll talk to you a little bit about some business advice. This is Barry on Power TV Australia for On The Spot. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
On The Spot, the show where we put Toowoomba businesses on the spot. Well, welcome along to My Music. I'm Jeff Black. Let me tell you about the T-Bird Diner. Well, just over here, we've got a Ford Custom line that's crashed through the wall. Next episode on My Music on Power TV Australia. I'll see you then.
Lucky Dip Toowoomba. As soon as you walk through the door, that sweet sugar smell takes you back to your childhood. Come and see our huge range of classic lollies, as well as some new favourites, and go back to your childhood as well.
Lucky Dip has moved. Find them at Shop 3, 207 McDougall Street. Call them on 0467 270 353 and mention this ad to get 5% off your next purchase. Power TV Australia presents documentaries from around the world with David Attenborough, the BBC,
rises on Japan,
Stephen Fry and others. Explore
explore the magic of the world around us. Every Thursday at 7 p.m, live and free on the Power TV Documentaries channel.
Welcome back. You're watching On the Spot on Power TV Australia. I'm Barry. I'm with Lindsay Booth today from Toowoomba Sightseeing. Lindsay, tell us a little bit about what the future is for Toowoomba Sightseeing. Where do you see this going? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I think it's going to get stronger and stronger. I'm hoping that Toowoomba will become a draw card for tourists, especially from the Gold Coast and the Brisbane and Sunshine Coast area. Yep. I think there's an untapped market there. We could be like a yuppie kind of an area where people can come and enjoy the coolness in the summertime.
Yes.
And, you know, the lack of humidity. I think it's a very pleasant place to sit outside in our parks and things and have a coffee and a meal, and
the hail during the spring,
and some hail when it's around. But I think that is coming, because I'm increasingly seeing groups coming up.
Okay.
And the bus is a good place for them, because they'll come separately in their own cars, but then they can all jump on board. No one has to be the designated driver, and no one has to. The wife doesn't have to be looking at the map and getting in trouble.
Yes,
and it makes a nice, pleasant.
And you don't have to be driving off the road when the sat nav takes you the wrong way.
Exactly. So I think that's going to be one big draw card for us. We've got the Commonwealth Games coming up. I think we might get some overflow from visitors for that, to get up in the mountains. And I think with our new international airport, it won't be long and we'll be starting to see people come from overseas.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what kind of impact is the airport having on your business?
Well, at the moment it's allowing people to come, and especially partners who are coming with their friends or their husbands or wives who are coming here to work. So they come up on the plane just for an overnight stay, and they come and hop on the bus, you know, while their partners are doing their job.
Yes.
So that's that, where years ago they would have had to drive for hours and hours. The partner probably gave it a miss, but now they're coming along and seeing what's up here.
Right.
And they can be together for a meal in the evenings.
And do people need to book to get on the bus, or can they just get on, or
it's probably a good idea to send me a text, or you can hop online and book from our booking button.
Oh, okay.
But I don't expect people to, but then it probably is good to reserve a seat.
Yeah, okay.
I know just the other day I pulled up. Most days I have a half a dozen to a dozen people, but then the other day I pulled up and there's 21 in a line, and we only hold 23. So I thought, oh wow, this is going to be my first. Oh, sorry, but but that was fine. But I guess if people just give me a call, and then they'll know if I've got groups booked on.
And does your tour always follow the same direction, or? Pretty well. Okay.
Unless I've just got a group that's particularly want to go to one spot and spend a bit of time, well then I can mix it up for them.
Yep.
But I leave the weekends free for group bookings, and then in conjunction with them I can plan what they would like to see, and I fit that into an itinerary and ring ahead so people are ready for us, for morning tea and lunch and stuff.
So they can book a group of up to 23?
Yeah, book a group up to 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How do they get in touch with you? Tell us your contact details.
They can simply phone me on the mobile phone, 0447 070 635.
Again?
0447 070 635.
Yeah.
The only caution there is that I can't answer it while I'm on tour.
You're driving.
Because I'm doing a full commentary as well as we go around. So if you can just leave a message, and then I can get back to you after the tours are finished.
Yeah. And you mentioned
the other thing, you can
site.
send a text.
Yeah.
And then I can get the texts at different stops and text back if people are wanting to urgently get on that afternoon or something.
All right.
Or you can go to the toowoombasightseeing.com.au and book online.
toowoombasightseeing.com.au.
Yep. Or send me an email at info@toowoombasightseeing.com.au.
Terrific. And how far out do people need to book to be sure that they get on?
Well, I have got people now that have forward booked. I've got whole days that are taken towards the end of November.
Right.
So there's whole days taken out by different groups. One group here from Toowoomba have taken fully booked both tours for the whole day.
Right.
And another group have nearly fully booked from Warwick. So.
Okay, so people shouldn't just sit around and say, oh, we'll book if we get a chance. They should actually book ahead.
Yeah, you can book ahead, ages ahead on the website.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right.
The other thing too, they can follow us on Facebook.
Right.
And
that's just Toowoomba Sightseeing, is it?
Yeah. Yep. And the Toowoomba Sightseeing also has a Instagram.
And that's just Toowoomba Sightseeing again.
Yeah,
yep.
All pretty simple. Toowoomba Sightseeing.
Yeah, that's terrific.
One thing I'm really glad that they changed the name of this place to Toowoomba. Originally it was called the Swamp, and I just thought the Swamp Sightseeing that wouldn't be a good.
It doesn't have the same ring, does it?
It doesn't have the same ring. No.
Oh right. Oh well. Now that's interesting. We're on the top of a hill, so we were the swamp on the hill.
We were the swamp on the hill. Yeah.
Oh,
right.
For
many years, our forefathers thought that wasn't really a good idea, so they lobbied the government and got the name changed. So
right.
Thank heavens they did.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Oh, okay. Now, let me just ask you one other thing. You've been in business for a while, and I'm assuming this is not the first business that you've been in. We've got business people out there who watch this show. What kind of advice would you give someone out there who's watching this that's either struggling or is starting out in business? What sort of things should they know about
business? I think as all the media has evolved and people are using the internet more and more to connect, you have to keep your business name very, very simple and explain exactly what you're doing in your business name. Like, mum and dad get together and they're selling chocolates and they think, mum and dad hallelujah business, they call it, something like that.
Right.
And I think, no, just call it Toowoomba chocolates.
Right,
and
yes.
Everyone knows exactly then, if I'm looking for chocolates in Toowoomba, I go to toowoombachoColates.com.au,
yep.
And as you work your way up the Google list, they'll find you very, very quickly. And I get very disappointed sometimes. I think, people have got this wonderful business, but they've got these obscure names that nobody can find in the world of the internet anymore. It's like it's a monstrous world, the internet.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you have to keep it simple to be found in there.
Yes.
That's the main message that I have for people. I had a business once here which I called Toowoomba Real Estate World.
Right.
And within about a month we went to the top of the Google.
Right.
And I looked up, when I wanted to start this, I thought now I wanted to be a Toowoomba based sightseeing business. I bet hundreds of bus companies will have Toowoomba Sightseeing all taken. So when I applied for it, it was available. It's so simple, Toowoomba Sightseeing. And it tells exactly what we do, exactly where we are.
Yeah.
And now already in the tour business, we're on top of Google.
Yeah.
And you don't have to pay a fortune to be there, you just have to be well known.
Yeah. Well, my marketer in Sydney tells me that there are about 140,000, I think he said, searches on Google a month for accommodation and tours and restaurants in Toowoomba.
Yeah.
So there are lots of people searching, and of course if you've got Toowoomba in your name, then people that are searching Toowoomba are going to find you pretty quickly. So.
Yeah, like Charlie's buses is going to be way down the list. Charlie might be really well known out at Drayton, but nobody's really going to go looking for him from Melbourne or Japan or
no
Germany, are they?
No, that's right.
And also too, there's providers who are in your industry I think you need to link up with them. Sometimes it's a cost that you kind of think, wow, do I really need this cost? But it keeps you up to date with what your industry is doing.
Yes.
And I think it's always good to be a part of that. And then after that, you just brand yourself and keep it nice and simple. But you really have to be on the top of the tourist list, you have to give people a really good experience.
Yes, yes.
You can't come to work with your cranky face on, and you can't argue with anybody.
Yes, right.
In tourism, you must try to do your very best all the time, and I think if you do that, those people will tell somebody else to hop on board, and that's where, especially with the grey nomads, that's where I'm getting a lot of my business. You know, they sit in happy hours. Yeah, at happy hour, they have a beer in the afternoon at some obscure caravan park out in the wilderness. And what did you do in Toowoomba? Oh, we went on the sightseeing bus and we loved it.
Yeah.
And I get lots of people saying, oh, our friends we met, you know, up at Townsville said they came on the bus, so we thought we'd give it a go. And that's just from giving good experiences.
Yes. Okay, that's terrific. Thank you very much for your time today. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. We'll put your details up on the screen again so that folk can get in touch with you. If you're thinking about coming to Toowoomba and doing some sightseeing, this is a great place. Toowoomba's got lots to offer. Make sure you get up here and make sure you book Lindsay's bus and go and have a look. He'll tell you all about what's happening as you go. He'll give you a guided tour. It's a really great way to see this terrific city. Until next time, until next week on Power TV Australia, this has been Barry for On The Spot. Take care.
On the Spot, the show where we put Toowoomba businesses on the spot.